Aloha, ladies and gentlemen. Today is May 15th, 2021, 9:31 p.m. Hawaiian Standard Time. It's Saturday, and we are going to look at the markets for the week of May 10th through May 14th. We're also going to look at Friday for the markets. Right now we have the S&P 500. We see there's a big gap up finishing Friday, significantly higher than here, than where it dropped down to. So it looks like basically it came down, touches 50-day moving average. Anyone that would have bought the dip would be in a position where if you bought around here, potentially could be selling around here. We will see what Monday holds, but of course tomorrow is Sunday. S&P 500 E-mini futures is going to be opening up. That would give us an indication of what's going on. I'll be interested to see if it's going to bounce back up to kind of this level and then come back down, maybe stay in a range a little bit, or if it's just going to break above. And if it breaks above, what is it going to look like? Is it going to hold above this area, or is it going to be a breakout and failure? And let's take a look at the line chart, see if that's given us any indication. Okay, well, maybe we're forming a W here. So if that were the case, we want to see some pullback here and have the second point of the W. So is it your right hand of the W, or is it going to be a mirror effect going on? I don't know, but the second point of the W, if it's going to be strong upward, we want to see it quite a bit higher. So maybe that's forming. Let's look at it, see how the weekly candle closed out. All right, well, looking at the weekly chart, this is not looking too bullish, is it? We see a bit of a sideways pattern going on. It did trade as low as here, but buyers brought it up to here. This pattern here has engulfed this here. So potentially by looking at the weekly chart, maybe we're in for a little more consolidation, maybe a little more sell-off on the weekly chart. We're halfway through the month, so let's take a look at the monthly. Monthly is kind of looking the same in a way as the weekly. Like looks like it might be kind of losing some momentum up to the upside. Does that mean it's just going to be building a base for more movement to the upside? Does that mean it will be hitting the ceiling for more of a downward movement? Not really sure. If it goes up, I'm not sure how high it might go because we don't really have any past indication to look at. If it drops down, looks like this area right here could offer a little bit of support. Might get kind of caught up in there. Also something in here that could potentially be some support there. So that is S&P 500. Take a look at the futures. Kind of a similar look. You see it drop down to this 50-day, closed up. That's looking pretty bullish on the daily. Let's take a look at the weekly. A little similar to what we were looking at halfway through the month. Not looking too strong there. And now let's move to my favorite, oil. Oil sold off. Hits this 20-day moving average, comes up. Let's take a peek at that line chart. Could be. Might we be forming a W here? Could be. Same thing. We want to see what happens. At some point, we want to see a pullback. We want to see that second part of the W being stronger up, if that is what's going on. If it is sort of in the same parallel line, then that might indicate that we're in more of a sideways pattern. And interesting, right? We closed here, we opened up right here, sold down a little bit, but closed up here. This candle is obviously bigger than this one. However, we are over 50%. We're about, what is that, about 75, 80% into this candle. Could be a bullish indication. One thing I'm noticing though, we're kind of in this area. We're below here. Look at this. We look over to the left, kind of in this area here, which doesn't really surprise me. I think around this 60, 63, 64 type of area, there's something going on there. So if you're really good at picking direction, then you can go with directional trades. For myself, because of the time zone I live in, yada yada, some things like that, I do a lot more of income trades or non-directional trades via selling options. So a lot of times what I've built a better skill at looking at potentially where it's not going to go to. So that is something to consider if you want to do that. Let's look at the weekly chart. Weekly, kind of in a range. Now we're back bumping up against this top here. And what's going to happen? Looking a little bit doji-ish. And we can see kind of have a little base here. It's a little bit higher here, but there's these tails come all the way down here. So we got a bit of this sort of range right in here between around the $58, $60 mark. Right in here, we're at 62. We're halfway through the month. Take a look at that. All right, a lot of this month was a big one. This one's kind of like this red candle was basically ignored and continued to go bullish. We'll see how we have about 15 more days left until this candle closes out. It looks like potentially there could be a little bit of upward momentum stalling a little bit, but interesting, a lot of volume here. Good amount of volume here. So it's been like a progressively more volume up. A lot of selling volume came in, but the buyers just came right back in the next month. So that will be interesting to see how things play out. And now gold. Oh, looks like maybe a little bit of a range here. We see a bit of a top here and possibly a little bit of a bottom in here. Let's check out that line chart. Yeah, it's kind of a, yeah, maybe. I mean, it's kind of a sloppy W. Nothing super good. I mean, for example, look at this W here. Okay, this part of the W significantly higher than this part. Look at how we boom. So with this W strategy, what you can do is when you see it here, you see it pull back here, you see it starting to go. A lot of times once it breaks this point right here, it's a good indication of a buy. And you see, if you look over to the left, it had a little bit of same resistance back there before. So is it potentially doing some sort of W type of pattern? We will wait and see. Let's look at the weekly. All right, this weekly candle here, looks like a bit of indecision. I had sellers come in as far as down to here, but buyers came back in here. Might be a bit of a top. We look over to the left. I see some bit of resistance in this area. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Lots of buying volume came in, and let's look at the monthly. Halfway through the month, months of selling had been going on. This was obviously was ignored, sold off, shot up, more selling. Maybe we're basing out here. Look to the left. Could be. Look at that. Look at that. Maybe this is a resistance or support point that now we're on the opposite side of. But looks good for what I'm seeing so far for the month. Volume is a little bit down on top of the 20-day moving average. We'll see how the rest of the candle plays out. Now on to silver. Oh, are we forming a bit of a range? It looks like I would think maybe lower part of the range might be a little lower down here, possibly. If I was making a trade based on this, I would probably be looking at selling a put somewhere under here if that's what it's doing. But you know, I don't sell puts on silver, so on the silver future at least. Let's take a look at the line chart. That's pretty. That's kind of a. I mean, if you were to be drawing this in grade school as a W, you're probably not going to get the best grade, but we do see a little bit there. And pardon me. Gazoon tight to myself. Thank you. And just for character of the video and expediting getting it on there, I'm not editing that out. We're gonna leave that, and I hope you are wearing your mask because you know stuff can transfer through the internet. Anyways, so maybe a bit of a W, maybe not. You know, maybe we're getting a possible new W forming right here. We're gonna watch and see. Let's get back to the candle chart. Let's put it on a weekly. See if we can gain any insight from that. Okay, looks like we look to the left. Could be up against some resistance here. We got up this far and now sold off. But look at this. We're still at the top of this candle, so it could be building up a base to move higher. That I wouldn't be surprised with that. Halfway through the month. All right. Well. This is looking somewhat promising. We got low, a little bit higher low, a little bit higher low, a little bit higher low. Are we forming a little bit higher low? Yeah, from looking at this, that's what's jumping out on me. Lots of volume in here, and looking good so far. So let's see what happens. What this candle is going to look like at the end of this month. It would be interesting to see if this candle can see, it's down here. Can this candle, how far can this candle go up? Can it break this point? We will see, won't we? In the future, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be adding Bitcoin to this, and in the meantime, there's a Facebook group, Trading Investing Strategies. It's open. You can join it. I think to comment, you need to fill out some sort of little questionnaire to keep out the scammers. Also, if you're ready to take some sort of plunge, you want to bring your trading investing to the next level, and you feel like I might be able to help you do that, then message me somehow, somewhere, and then I will get back to you. We'll have a conversation, and I'll see, and you'll see if there is a way that we can work together. And just by the way, I'm working on a 8-week course to take you from zero to hero in your own personal trading career, assuming that you're already not a hero. Then you might need help from someone else. I don't know. Anyways, leave me a message, do whatever you want to do, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And regardless of what day it is, study the charts. Bye-bye.